Surprisingly, I haven't heard the chicken this morning yet. Well, I am in the position right now of feeling like we do have enough rain, have had enough rain, and there's a couple of days with potential rain coming up, and my Japanese maples like to dry out in between, so I don't want them to get too wet. So maybe no more rain for a few days. Well, there was a lot, and I mean a lot, of owl calling last night while we were watching TV and during the night while I was awake. Have not seen any of the owls yet today. Doesn't mean the baby fledged, but it could mean that. It could mean that. Look at the hydrangea. Woo! Gonna be pretty. I don't have to water anything this morning, but I'm coming down to check the seed level in the bird feeder and look at the irises and maybe clear out the water bowl that's farther out there because I did the bird bath yesterday. I'm always cleaning, wanting to make sure there's no mosquito larvae. I thought that this would be enough of a fountain to keep it out of this bird bath, but that's not working out to be the case so far. Mahonia still looking pretty, even though the birds have eaten berries. There's plenty more to be eaten. The iris are looking pretty. I see a bee. That's a good thing. Very nice. The flowers over here, the New Guinea impatiens, haven't been eaten yet. That's a plus. I don't expect that to hold out. We got us a bug of some sort in the water. I will lift him out and then dump the water and replace him. Okay, that's it. Get a Cybertruck. I'm not dealing with this.
I got to tell you, it's funny. I got out of the parked the GMC here. I had to spin it around, so it was idling here for 15-20 seconds, all total while we maneuvered. Anyway, long story short, when I got out, it's like the exhaust fumes like.
And then I came around. I mean, literally, I sort of feel sick now from going over there, and I wasn't done with the water stuff, and
I'm so sorry.
All of the exhaust went that way toward me and the kitties. So I told him, next time, drive down the driveway, back up, and point that darn exhaust that way.
Right, and I totally agree with her. I mean, it's funny. You don't know it until you
drive electric just how bad it is.
And the other thing I was going to say, I remember back in the old days when people used to smoke. I would go into work and come home and hang up my suit, and then all of a sudden, the next morning I'd open up the closet and it'd smell like smoke because my clothes would pick up the cigarette smoke. So if you're a non-smoker, if you're a smoker, you would never notice it, but a non-smoker can do that. And it's the same thing with this exhaust. You would never notice what we just did, except for we don't breathe exhaust fumes.
It was pretty bad. It was this morning.
So I've been sent out here to change the battery. These cameras, the last three I guess, that she's gotten, they're actually battery powered. Looks like they got two 18650s in this module. It's about 30 something bucks. It's not inexpensive. Since we have 3 of these things, I had her go on and get one extra battery that we can keep charged. This one, when we just put it out of the box and literally installed it, didn't have any time to charge the battery, so this battery's already dead. But that camera's we haven't charged yet, and nor is the one over there. So I'm down here this morning first thing to change this battery because it's saying it's really low. So there's technically a screw that you're supposed to undo to get the battery, but I don't want to have to bring a screwdriver, and if somebody steals it, I guess they're just going to steal it. So I very carefully turned the unlock holding the base, changed the battery, put it back, and Marianne checked. She said the view is good because this thing swivels, and so I was very concerned about bumping the alignment. So that's a slight disadvantage to having to do battery swaps like this. on these cameras is they're subject to moving, and so you have to realign it. I don't actually have the Ring app on my phone, so Marianne, she has to check it every time. And it charges at about 0.96 amps. This is the it's a micro USB cable, so I prefer a C. It would, you know, probably be able to charge faster, but you know, that's not bad, charging an amp. So it's charging at 5 watts. I don't know how many milliamp hours that battery is, but it's going to take all day to charge. This is not a fast process. So I would recommend, if you're going to have a Ring camera, these battery powered ones, if you can do without it for several hours while the battery charges, you can just live with one battery. But if you want to basically have security continuously, you're going to need to have a spare battery. And as I said, you only need one spare battery if you've got 3 cameras, because they're all 3 not going to run down at the exact same time. So you know, you can easily just use a spare battery to move between cameras, doing a battery swap, and that's basically what we're doing.
So just in case I didn't say, because I've had a lot going on this week, we're headed to pick up Johnny today. He's coming back with us. He's done for the semester. You know, Don and JB moved a lot of stuff out, you know, Sunday a week ago, and now we're moving the rest of the stuff out. So we're trying to leave by 10. Looks like it's going to be 10:30-ish. Anyway, it's all good. Hey, good morning, pretty girl. Hello, hello. Guess who's going to be home tonight? Are you excited? You will be when you see him. Hi. Hello. And we're off. It's 10:45. So a little later than we thought we'd get going. But Dawn has thought of everything. We have a Bluetooth speaker in case we want to listen to Project Hail Mary. And we've got our lunch and drink supply for us and Johnny. And what else did you do? Oh, John made sure everyone can charge their device. That's because right. When we have family togetherness, everyone needs to have their device charged. And sometimes when we move out of one of the Teslas into the van or the GMC, we haven't always had what we need. So we think we've thought of everything. We're in the GMC because, yeah, that's driving me nuts. We're in the GMC because I won't let Dawn play navigation in the Teslas. I have it turned off because it overtalks me while I'm talking, videoing, and yeah. Dawn knows. I would say that Dawn also knows where he's going, so why do I need to hear that?
So we know when we're going to get there, and also in case there's any traffic issues. And this very first turn, do we go down Barefoot Road or do we go out 42? Is the navigation is...
See, when you can see it here on the big screen, hearing it is even one notch less important. But since we can't see it, we got to hear it, I guess. So I'm sorry about that, because it drives me nuts. But what was I going to say? We're in the GMC for 2 reasons. Number one, while we thought we could get everything else into Ruby, we weren't 100% sure, and we would have had to been careful about how we pack it. Yeah. I think in the GMC we can just throw it back there and make sure it won't rattle around too much and break something important.
Pretty much.
And we'll be good to go. So a little less finesse required on loading the GMC for today's trip home. And since Ruby's not air conditioning right now, none of us wants to be in a vehicle on an 80-something degree day with no air conditioning. You can't leave the windows down at 80 mile an hour on the interstate. I mean, you know, back roads a little, you know, window down, no problem. But the tire noise and the traffic noise at 80 mile an hour on the interstate is not optimal, even for those that like the windows down, I think. Tesla did give us an estimate for the air conditioning, which was $215, and that's fine. That's certainly not covered under warranty, and we were, expecting that, and they have agreed to cover the pyro fuse repair under the battery warranty. So if you want to say we were unlucky that we had the problem, but also that we were lucky that we had the issue right before Ruby goes out of the 8-year warranty. So I'm going to say it's more, now's the time. If anything else is going to go, please, Ruby, if something else is going to go wrong, anything like that, now's the time. Now's the time. So it's Thursday, May the what? The 22nd or something?
Oh, the appointment. Yeah.
I got to go look it back up. I thought you told me the 22nd.
Right, but it did say that we could move it out. It said, in other words, I guess because there's no parts that have to be ordered. I guess they've got the pyro fuse or whatever in stock.
Sure.
They said that we could move them. If they didn't move it up, but they did say it could be moved up.
Yeah, May the 22nd at 2:15 p.m. So that is a Thursday. So as long as Michelle can shop that day, we'll drop Ruby off early. I don't know what early means, but we'll drop Ruby off early. Or if, they wanted to give us a loaner, I'll just send Dawn up there with Ruby and take the new car to shop with Michelle. And
yeah,
we'll deal with it that way. We'll figure it out. This is at the Sumner Boulevard location, not the Raleigh location. And they have lots of parking up there. And hopefully they have lots of security cameras up there. And so I think dropping her off a little early, I'm not so fearful about her being in the Glenwood parking lot like I have been in the past. In the past, is dropping her off is a little scary.
The only disadvantage is that it's you can't get there from here.
Right, it's a pain in the tuchus for us to get there.
There's no just go this way.
We're not turning here. Oh, Bert, not O.C. Hester. Yeah.
Yeah, and at this point, unless there's a traffic snarl up, I don't need to know. I just needed to know, do I go 42 or do I go Burt Road? There's
several ways to take the back roads to 421 north into Greensboro. And we need to know which one. Although probably most days we're talking about a difference of 30 seconds or a minute. So the car will tell us what it thinks the most efficient one is, but I don't know in this case if it really saved us anything.
That's right.
We didn't, up on the screen, it would tell us the time difference and we could see if it was negligible or not. And I'm sure Don's phone screen says that too. But again, if you've ever had the screen, you don't want to go back to living without the screen. I think that's a fair statement. So
the other thing, because we're in the GMC, we have drive safe and save. And if you so much as touch that phone, it dings you. Driving.
That's tough.
Okay.
Let Dawn know that even though we don't need to make a charging stop, that we're going to need to stop to use the restroom one time between here and there, just like we always do. So he can either pull off at the normal supercharger stop because it feels like we're used to it, or there's a rest area, I think, between here and there. He can dart into the rest area. I don't care, just as long as you stop.
Yeah.
Of course, it'll be him needing to stop before me, but I know you guys think it's always the woman, but maybe not in this case.
We have a little less than half a tank, which we could technically get to Charlotte with no problems and then fuel up on the way back, but we're not going to get to Charlotte and back on a half a tank of gas. This gets 400 miles.
Oh my God, you've had to put gas in twice within 30 days.
Right. Well, now I forget how many. It's 180 miles, so it's 360 miles over there and back, I think.
165 maybe.
165.
It's like 140 as the crow flies, but when you add in the roads, it's like 165 or something.
And the part of that is
well, this says 128. I don't know how many we've gone, so maybe it is more in the 140 range.
Right. Well, anyway, I'm sure if I filled up, had left with a full tank, if it stopped on the way home or whatever, a typical thing left, we could go over there and back without refueling in the GMC. It gets that good of gas mileage. However, just because we've changed to an ice car, we haven't changed my bladder. My bladder is not going to make it both ways. We're going to have to stop going and coming home because I can't last that long. I'm an old guy.
Right. Well, we travel for comfort, not for this, young person. I got to get there in the absolute shortest amount of time. Right. Kyle Connor. So we're at the supercharger sheets, but we got to get gas.
Right. Well, we're going to have to get gas now or later.
Yep.
And probably, I think we're going to have to stop to get Johnny a hamburger. I don't know.
No, I brought Johnny lunch, so we don't have to stop on the way home, right, except to use the restroom again.
Right, right. So I guess this is a good time. Yeah,
I told Dawn we hadn't gone past the rest area, and let's just stop at the sheets.
Yes, this is the supercharger, same one. We'll show you the.
We'll drive past it on the way out. I wish we were on the other side. Well, I went inside, used the restroom, didn't have anything I needed to buy. Came back out, and Don's still pumping gas. He's at 16 gallons and $44. My point was going to be, at least when you supercharge, you're free to go do other stuff. When you're pumping the darn gas, you got to stay at the gas, or you're supposed to stay. Right? We all know they have the cutoff thing, but what a waste of time standing there smelling fumes and watching the gas pump. I'm just kind of being a smarty about it, but yeah, he's up to 17.8 gallons and $48.73, baby. I think Don says that'll get us about 400 miles in this vehicle. A full tank. All right, there's the supercharger. Don's going to park and go in and use the restroom now. He's the polite sort that removes his car from the pump before he goes inside to do stuff.
Yeah, well, I'm also going to get a cup of coffee.
And get coffee. Yeah.
So you see what's behind us, don't you? Did you get that?
I showed him that's where I said you were going to be a good boy and park in a regular spot and not at the supercharger spot.
That's right, and I'm going to sit here and burn gas so my sweetie, she can stay cool in the car because the air conditioner is going to stop if I take the key.
Yeah, but let's not let me get hot or smell fumes from the gas station. I've already been fumigated once today.
But I am going to get me some coffee.
Good. I would say get 1 bottle of water.
Okay. Well, then I'll be back.
Okay. Well, we just passed the Cybertruck, and you said
I need to get a sticker that says my other car is a Tesla.
Yeah, we're feeling a little left out today.
That's right.
It's a serious thing. You want to. I gave the guy a thumbs up as we went past. It was an older gentleman, and yeah, we had an X following behind us for a while, and I was really missing Ruby and talking Tesla with our friend Adam on text messages, and I'm having Tesla Withdrawal today. Maybe that's a good video title for today. Yeah. Tesla Withdrawal Day. And put up the picture of me that I took back at the sheet standing in front of the GMC in front of the supercharger. Yeah, I think that's what today's video is going to be. We knew it was going to be a disaster. It's very full over here, but Johnny has a spot that even the GMC will fit in. Yeah. And he is standing in the spot, holding it for us. He has seen us, I'm sure, come around the corner. He's waving. We see you, buddy. We're coming. So I've made 2 trips with Johnny, and in between the 2 trips, I really helped pack up the rest of the stuff up there. It's probably good we're in the GMC. And then Don and Johnny are going to bring the rest of the stuff down. And then Don's going to close his eyes, take a nap if he feels he can, rest. And I'll go up and help Johnny vacuum and wipe surfaces down. Do our best. So, anyway, it's going okay. It's sprinkling just a bit. I didn't think it was supposed to sprinkle today. We've worked hard. It's back to where it all started. It's empty and ready to go right down to the refrigerator rental. So it smells lemony fresh in here. It's been well vacuumed. It's been dusted, and we've taken everything down. Goodbye. I'm trying to remember the name of the hall you're in. Miltimore. Goodbye, Miltimore. Well, we're making good progress going back across state now. We should be home about 6:15. I had a big package delivered, and there is some rain moving into the area, and I was really stressing about it getting wet. So Michelle, Ariel, and Connor went over and moved it into the house for me. And I got a cute little video of me talking to them on the Ring camera, thanking them for coming over. Connor, I can say he handled that box like it was no problem. I was going to show you some wildflowers planted by the NC Wildflower Program, but by the time I got the camera up, after we'd seen it 2 or 3 times and I wasn't prepared, then there weren't any more that I saw, so I'm sorry for that. But there are some beautiful, we'll call it prairie garden style, middle of the highway wildflowers, and they're really looking pretty. There's very, very pretty stuff going on, but now that we're moving off onto 421, I don't think we'll have a chance to see it again today. And the rain is doing sort of weird today. It's the way we have to make that upper arch to get home, where we're sort of traveling around west and then north of the rain, which is fine with us. People driving with old school cruise control are a pain in the butt. I asked Don, did he forget that he didn't have regen braking? And he said, no, I just didn't want to have to disengage cruise control. So anytime Don says that he thinks that regular cruise control is a good thing, I'm just going to tell you from the passenger point of view, that would be a no.
Yeah, but I have to keep up with these locals. I mean, they've tried this way every way. And just because I got a load of stuff in my GMC don't mean I'm driving slow.
He just won't disengage.
Hey, people, when they come over to my lane all the time when they're not driving Teslas.
Right.
So I have the perfect ride when I'm not in the Tesla driving the other fella's lane.
I hadn't really thought about maybe that's why they do that sometimes.
You
though.
think?
I guess you've now showed me the way.
Yeah, well, when you go a little too fast into the curves, you kind of run out of steering. Basically.
Anyway, it is a similar effect as when the person forgets they need to use the brake because they don't have regen. It's 1:30 in the morning, Thursday morning, Wednesday night into Thursday morning, and I've been at the emergency vet with Stripe. He was kind of lethargic this morning and didn't seem super interested in any food. And when we got back with Johnny this afternoon, he was the same or worse. Turned down fancy feast, fresh dry chow. Didn't run over to me, had to coax him to come. And then I picked him up and he felt really warm. So I debated waiting till tomorrow morning or taking him tonight, and decided that taking him tonight was the right answer. So they did some blood work and didn't really see anything that stood out. His liver's good, his kidneys are good. He's doesn't have pancreatitis. His doesn't have a UTI. His sugar was a little high, his glucose, but there's no sugar in his urine. It's just related to the stress and whatever's going on with him. So we talked about possibly me bringing him home or him staying overnight. And of course the vet really wanted to keep him, put him on IV fluids, give him some NSAIDs, some anti-inflammatories, and give him an anti-nausea, anti-pain med, and try to coax him to eat. Because he hasn't had anything to eat at least since I'm gonna say he ate, what's today? He ate Tuesday night. He just didn't eat the Wednesday morning. So I agreed for him to stay. And I'm sounding a lot calmer and more focused than I'm anywhere near close to being. The only good thing I can say is I gave him a hug before I left, and I petted on him, and he purred for me, and they had managed to cool him down a little bit. And so I'm just going to be hopeful. We're all going to be hopeful, right? We're going to pull for Stripe, and we're going to be hopeful.